السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، إن أصدق حديث كتاب الله عز وجل وأحسن هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر أمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة في الإسلام بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise is due to Allah Azza wa Jal. We praise Him and we extol Him And we seek refuge in Allah Ta'ala from the evil within ourselves and the evil results of our wrong actions. Whomsoever Allah guides can be never left astray in misguidance. And whomsoever Allah Ta'ala allows to be left astray, there's no guide for that individual. Verily, the most truthful of speech is the book of Allah Ta'ala, the Quran Kareem, and the finest guidance is that of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And the most evil of affairs are the newly invented ones, bid'ah. And every innovation is a going astray, and every going astray leads to the hellfire. Amabad. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah Ta'ala, and I publicly bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is his slave and final messenger. As what follows. Today, my dear Salam Iman, we'd like to speak about the harms of consumerism. And what is consumerism in a nutshell? It is the lifestyle which encourages us to spend frivolously, that we have uncontrolled spending habits. And in this time that we're living in, as we all know and witness, that we're living in a very fast-paced society. With the globalization, now everything is at our fingertips. Literally. We can order anything that we want online and have it delivered right to our doorstep. Wallah alhamd. This is one of the blessings of Allah, Ta'ala, that we have this accessibility to so many things. But what most people fail to realize, and that which is going on right now for the past couple of years or few years in the courts, and now it's come now to the light for most people, is that they are tracking us secretly, whether we like it or not, that we're being tracked secretly and our search trends are being monitored and recorded and harvested and sold to the highest bidder. So as a result, they're following our trends and they're marketing us products and services that we may not even want. But because it's looking appealing to us, we end up buying these things. And now they have made us having an addictive pattern to our search habits without us even realizing this. So, my dear Salam Iman, I want to remind us that we have to be aware of ourselves, that this addictive nature of consumerism can afflict any one of us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have many blessings from Allah. But I want us to understand from this reminder, our khutbah today, bi'idhnillah, and there's many angles that we can grasp from it, is that we have to be grateful. One of the best ways to curb this addiction, because people are becoming sick by online shopping, consumerism in a nutshell. One of the best ways to curb this addiction is by being grateful servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To be shakir, to be thankful of what Allah Azza wa Jal has given us. And to always keep in mind that one day we'll have to stand in front of Allah Ta'ala and we will be questioned about our many delights. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is reminding us in a small surah called Tukathur, piling up. Allah Azza wa Jal says, لَهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ حَتَّى ذُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرُ. Our mutual rivalry of possession, collecting and gathering of things divert our attention from our goal, which is Jannah, until we come to our graves. Then we'll realize, in the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, He's also mentioned that in authentic hadith, that we should dhikr, we should remember frequently the destroyer of pleasures, yani al-maut, which is the death. And the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had given us many examples of this. And Allah Azza wa Jalla has given us many examples of this in His book as well. That we have so many blessings at our fingertips. But the majority of us are ungrateful for these many blessings. Allah Azza wa Jalla is reminding us in Surah Ibrahim, ayat number 34. وَأَتَاكُم مِّن كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ إِن تُعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تَحْصُوهَا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَظَلُومٌ كَفَّارٌ. Allah Azza wa Jal, He has mentioned very eloquently in this ayah. And He has given us all that we had asked for. And if we try and count the numerous blessings of Allah Ta'ala upon us, would never be able to do so. But human being is the lumun kuffar. It's very difficult to translate how Allah Azza wa Jal describes the nature of human beings. And this is what the psychologists and the researchers have been able to sell to those data harvesters. They understand the nature of human being. That the nature of a human being, we are covetous. We like to have things and covet things. Allah says that human beings are extremely niggardly and ingrate by nature. So the point that I'd like for us to take away from this, from our reminder today, is that Allah mentioned, in وَإِن تُعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تَحْصُوهَا. If we were to try and enumerate the blessings of Allah upon us, we would never ever be able to do that. Allah He's telling us that no matter how much we strive for this worldly life, we're always going to be desirous of more. Many of us are ungrateful, and we do not see the many blessings that we have within us and around us. We have health, we have wealth, we have family, we have security, especially living here in this land of affluency. Many of us are crying and even dying for more. And yet, we have so much blessings right in front of our eyes, within ourselves. And we neglect these blessings. We need to keep in mind that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has stated in an authentic hadith, "Inna dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannat al-kafir." That this world, this dunya, this worldly life that we're living in, is a prison. It's supposed to be a prison for the believers and a paradise for the disbelievers. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also reminds us, another authentic hadith, is that every ummah, every nation, they have their own fitna. And the fitna of my ummah is money, wealth, acquisition, possession. All of these things are a fitna for us more than any other nation. So, what do we understand by these examples? Is that it's haram? No, it's not haram to want to have wealth. It is not a sinful thing in and of itself to want to acquire betterment in our lives and to have a better position and to make more money. But the problem is, most of us, we acquire and we want to acquire wealth and happiness and affluency with greed. With greed. We want to buy things online just because it looks nice. And this is a problem because we're not buying things with cash, we're buying the majority of the things with credit, an illusion. And we're only buying these things because it looks nice, with money that we do not have. This is a very, very serious problem. There's another authentic hadith in the Jami Tirmidhi, who said that the Prophet ﷺ said that the majority of the people who will enter paradise will be poor people. And the rich will have to wait. They will be held back 500 years for questioning. Another hadith in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, on the authority of Osama bin Zayd, reported that the Prophet ﷺ said that he stood at the gate of Jannah, and he saw that the majority of the people who entered into Jannah first were poor people, and the rich were held back for questioning. And then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes on to say that he stood at the gates of Jahannam, the hell, and he said he saw that the majority of the inhabitants of the hell were women. Then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said when he came back down to this earth from Isra and Mi'raj, he gathered the women and he told them what he saw. And this is not a put down for the women, mind you. This is the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explaining the character sketch of the females. He said that, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I stood at the gates of the hellfire and I saw the majority of the inhabitants were women. They were women. One woman asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is our sin? The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bikufrihinna." This is a very eloquent Arabic word. Kufr is not only disbelief, it also translates to mean ingratitude. The woman asked, do we disbelieve in Allah? The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam so eloquently explained to the lady, "Ikfuruna bil ashir," that you are ungrateful to those who look after you. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam further goes on to explain that if one of them does something, one thing that you dislike, after many years of good maintenance, you say to that person, "Ma arayt khair min qat." I have never ever seen any goodness in you. This is not a put down for the women, but women, we know that these marketers, they target the women. They target the women with their shopping. And we know that the researchers have proven and stated that the majority of the people who are online shopping, not 40, 50, more than 60 or 70% are women. This is not a put down to the women, but we know that women are emotional shoppers. They feel that they're entitled to do this shopping and to buy these things because they're going through something at the moment. And other women, they like to compare themselves to their friends. Say, my friend has this, or she just bought these new curtains. We had these curtains for already a week. We need to change them, and so on and so forth. We had this sofa for a month already. There isn't anything wrong with it. No, but we sat on it for over a month, a year. Why don't we just sell it? Why don't we just get rid of it and get something new? This is the characteristic that we have to curb within ourselves and in our sisters. That the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is a bad characteristic. That we look to what other people have and we're desirous of those things. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that in authentic hadith, that we should look at those who are below us, so that we do not be ungrateful to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. We're living in this part of the world, my dear Basalam Iman. A lot of us have fallen into this consumerism mindset that just because we have the capability of buying something, we do this thing. We have so much. We have been blessed with so much by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to take the time out and give thanks to Allah azza wa jal. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would make dua to Allah and he would ask Allah that he would live with the masakin and that he would die with the masakin and that he would be raised up on the day of judgment with the masakin. And the ulama, Rabbaniyin, they did not state that this is a dua. They did not say that this is a dua for poverty. No, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not pray for poverty, but he prayed for humility. There isn't anything wrong with striving towards getting a better education, to get a better job, to get a better position in your job, to get more money, to make more sales. There isn't anything wrong with that. But to be covetous of this life, this dunya, with greed. Allah says, "Man shufa nafsi fa ulaika humul muflihun." Who can ever curb their greediness? Who can never curb their greediness and the habitual spending, then they are successful. There's another authentic hadith in the Sahih of Imam Bukhari and Muslim. Said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the sons and daughters of Adam, they say, Mali, 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 my wealth, my wealth, my wealth. But the only thing that we get out of our wealth is three things. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, From our wealth, we only get three things. Allahu Akbar. He said that which we eat and we pass out. That which we eat, we clean our plate, we eat, we finish, and we pass out. That which we wear of clothing and it becomes worn out. And that which we spend, we send ahead of ourselves in charity. These are the benefits that we get out of our wealth. Everything other than that, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, will be left for other people to spend. So may Allah Azza wa Jal help us to be good Muslims who understand ourselves and understand our spending habits and understand those who depend on us, and we do not spoil them through unnecessary spending. Amen, amen, amen. Bismillah, salatu salam, ala Rasulullah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man tabi'a huda, wa ba'd. Alhamdulillah. Let me just summarize what we spoke about for those of us who are coming in late. That I hope, inshallah, these last parts of advice will be much more beneficial than the first part, bidnillah. The first thing I want to remind myself, you all, is one of the forgotten sunnahs of the Prophet ﷺ that we need to revive is sujood al-shukr. That whenever we receive good things, whenever the Messenger of Allah ﷺ would receive good news, he would fall down in prostration. He would make sujood to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of thankfulness. Alhamdulillah, I have, you have, we all have so much, I'm sure, especially living in this land of affluency. But we should raise the hand in our hearts and ask ourselves, when was the last time we put our head down? Not talking about the khamsa salawat, the 5 daily prayers. I'm talking about making sujood shukr. This is what the Messenger of Allah ﷺ used to do a lot of the time, all the time. Whenever he received good news, he would make sujood. He would fall down in sujood shukr. And the final advice is a hadith. It comes in the form of a hadith. Of Imam Muslim, that Abu Hurairah anhu said that once, while Abu Bakr and Umar, they were outside their homes in the night, in the middle of the night. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, he met them and he asked them, what brings you outside of your homes at this time of night? They said, وَالَّذِي بَعَثَكَ بِالْحَقِّ, the one who sent you, O Messenger of Allah, with the truth. Nothing else has caused us to come outside of our homes at this time of night except hunger. Allahu Akbar. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, وَالَّذِي بَعَثَنِي بِالْحَقِّ, the one who sent me with the truth, nothing has caused me to come outside, to wake up in the middle of the night and come outside other than this reason as well. Hunger, jur. Just look at the statement of these, the Khulafa, Abu Bakr and Umar, and the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, the best of people after the Anbiya wa Rasul, Abu Bakr and Umar, and Ali ibn Abi Talib. He narrated that whenever the Messenger of Allah ﷺ would go out of his home, كان Abu Bakr and Umar ma'ahu. Abu Bakr and Umar would always be with him. Whenever the Messenger of Allah ﷺ would enter into his home or a place, كان Abu Bakr and Umar ma'ahu. Abu Bakr and Umar would be with him. The best of people, they came out in the middle of the night because they were awakened due to hunger. Allahu Akbar. I don't know if any of us can say that we've ever woken up living in this land of affluency, even once, due to extreme hunger. So then the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, Abu Bakr and Umar, they said, come, let's go. The Prophet ﷺ said to them, come, let us go. And they went to the house of one of the Ansar. And then they knocked the door. And the lady of the house came to the door. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ asked her, Aina Fulan, where is the man of the house? She said that he went to go and fetch us some water. At that moment, he appeared. And he was so overjoyed, he said, I have no other better guest than a prophet today. He hung his bucket on the tree. And he went and he climbed the tree, the date palm tree, and he brought down dates for the Prophet ﷺ and his guests. He cut down a cluster and gave it to the Prophet ﷺ and his guests. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, why did you just pick some? He said, no, I wanted you to choose. He said to the Prophet ﷺ, I wanted you to choose which you wanted for yourself. And then he took his blade so as to go and slaughter a sheep to serve his guests. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, he said, do not slaughter a milk-bearing sheep. He went and slaughtered the sheep for the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr and Umar. And then the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, after they had eaten their meal, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, لَتَسْأَلُنَّ عَنْ هَذَا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بِيُوتِكُمْ جُوعٌ فَلَمْ تَرْجُعُوا حَتَّى أَصْبَحْتُمْ هَذَا فَهَذَا مِن نَعِيمٍ. He said, you will be asked about this delight on the day of judgment. Hunger caused you to leave your homes, and you're not returning back to your homes except with your bellies full. And this meal is from the Na'im. Many of us, if not Afwan, all of us have left from our homelands, our home countries, to these lands, looking for a better life. I've never met not even one single solitary Muslim that said that they left from their country to come to Canada, United States, or UK to give dawah. Everybody came here for the dunya, for a better life. Now that, alhamdulillah, we've put on weight, our bellies are full, many of us have become arrogant, overlooking others, conceited within ourselves. We have forgotten how to be grateful to Allah. We have to remember that one day we will be asked about this delight. We can deny it all we want, but when we left, majority of us were very skinny. And after a few years of living in this land, these lands, we put on a lot of weight. This is of the na'im, the blessings of this life. These are of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. We all know of Muslims who are suffering in the Middle East, in Sudan. They're suffering for aish, for bread, luqmat aish, the things that we take for granted. We're causing things to spoil and we're throwing out. Those basic amenities, clean water, clean drinking water in Sudan, and bread. In parts of Pakistan, the land that a lot of us have left, are starving. In Syria, they're starving. We all know this because we watch the news once in a while. But how many of us are affected by those things? We, my dear Salam Iman, will be asked about our neighbors. We'll be asked about this delight. Next time we think about clicking and just buying that scarf because I think it will look nice on my daughter or my wife, it's only $20 plus shipping, plus handling, $6, and we buy that. Think about those people who are suffering. That $26 can go a long way for our brothers and sisters who are suffering in Burma, in Sudan, in many parts of the Muslim world. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us the tawfiq to open up our eyes and our hearts and realize that this globalization and this globalization of wanting to have everything at our fingertips is a plan and it's a plot of the shaitan. If we do not wake up and open our eyes and realize what we have and be thankful of the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal has provided us for, may Allah Azza wa Jal help us to be a person who has qalbin shakiran, that has a heart which is thankful and grateful for the many blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.